This chapter is about the data synthesis. We've reached the stage in the systematic review process where we're actually going to produce something new. So far, we've found studies, we've identified studies, we've screened studies, we've done an assessment of bias, we've collected data. But now it's our turn to take that data and see what does this tell us? And we create something new from this comprehensive overview. So the data synthesis is the process of combining the results of the included studies to draw overall conclusions and to highlight the ability of the current evidence to respond to specific questions. There are two main approaches. You have a narrative synthesis, which is a structured textual summary, and it's used when studies are too different to combine statistically, but I'd argue that you use it even when they are statistically combined. And then we have the quantitative synthesis, also known as meta-analysis, which is a statistical method to combine results from similar studies to get a pooled estimate. And as I just said, a meta-analysis is always combined with a narrative synthesis, at least describing the studies that are included in the meta-analysis. So the key components of a narrative synthesis includes textual and tabular descriptions. We typically create a table that summarizes all the studies from the PICO framework. So you have a table where you have population, interventions, comparators, and outcomes. Then, more in a narrative text approach, we group studies by relevant criteria. This could, for instance, be by intervention type or by outcome. And we describe the studies that fall into these groupings with a focus on the quality of the studies and the estimates of the studies to give the reader a quick look at what's happened in this field and what do we know. A quantitative synthesis or meta-analysis is a statistical technique for combining the results of multiple similar studies. I say similar here because that's when it's appropriate to apply a meta-analysis. You can obviously apply a statistical technique anytime you like. It might not just be appropriate. And it's most appropriate to apply it if the studies are similar. The goal is to produce a single pooled estimate of the effect, which is more precise than the estimate from any individual study. But again, we have to be careful. More precise is not always good. It is better to be unsure about something that's biased than to be very, very confident about the wrong thing. And so, if the studies that are included in your review all have a high risk for bias, you might get a more precise estimate by pooling them, but might be more precisely wrong, which is not better than being unprecisely wrong. When it's appropriate to combine or not, you'll read more about in the course materials, and we'll have a dedicated chapter of meta-analysis.